News 4 Today begins with breaking news.
That breaking news we've been following since we came on the air at 4 a.m. D.C. police clearing out that encampment on the campus of George Washington University. We do know that at least 20 people have been arrested, according to D.C. police.
Now, on the left side of your screen, that's video from just about an hour ago. You can see mostly police remaining at 21st and 8th Streets. Earlier in the 4 a.m. hour, more chaotic as clashes between police and protesters broke out. That is on the right side of your screen.
We saw several people hit with some kind of spray away from University Yard. D.C. police now confirming they used pepper spray, but not in the encampment area. All of this coming just hours before D.C. leaders are expected to testify on Capitol Hill over their handling of the encampment.
We are working for you with live team coverage this morning. News 4's Joseph Omo and Juliana Valencia covering the local angle, and we're getting a national perspective from Bree Jackson. Let's begin with Joseph. Joseph, you've been there all morning long. Tell us what's happening now.
And what a morning it has been, Tony. Good morning to you. It's 6:45, and it's a whole lot different at 6:45 than what it was like here at around 3:45 3 hours ago. Much calmer at this point. You're looking at 8th Street, one of the places that was full with tents and chalk messages. All of that has been cleared up. But to the right there, that's University Yard, right? That's where the majority of this protest in this encampment has been for the past 2 weeks or almost 2 weeks. That is still there. All the tents are still there. No more demonstrators. They've all been removed. Some left on their own. Others were arrested. We don't have an exact number of the people who've been arrested. Let me show you what it looked like, though, at around 3:15 this morning as police were going in and clearing out that encampment. It was chaotic, really. There's no other way to describe it. You had multiple clashes with police and with protesters. You're about to see video of the moment that police used pepper spray as they were trying to extend their perimeter around the university. We are about half a block away right now from University Yard, and as police were trying to kind of push the protesters back, that is when another clash happened, and that is when pepper spray was deployed. Let me let you listen now to a couple of people who just lived through all of this. I'm telling the story from somebody who's kind of watching it at a distance. These are people who were there, they say, in this encampment when police started to move in this morning.
As soon as they came in, I tried to go back in to get my stuff, and the cop shoved me. He had a paintball gun in his hand, and he shoved me out. He said if I re-entered, they would arrest me immediately. He had some type of paintball gun or pellet gun.
The cops were shoving the students first, shoving them with their bikes, pushing them, putting their hands on them, physically assaulting them, pulled out their mace, sprayed students straight in the eyes, straight in the face, kept it going. I was back and I'm still burning all over my face.
Yeah, you know what, the best way to summarize this morning, guys, encampment and protesters cleared, cleanup begins. We'll keep our eyes on this and, of course, have the very latest at 11 o'clock on News 4 Midday. Back to you.
All right, Joseph Omo reporting from the scene. Thank you, Joseph.
We've been asking D.C. police why they decided to clear the encampment now. What changed between the last 2 weeks and this morning, day 14? Their statement reads in part, based on incidents and information, there has been a gradual escalation in the volatility of the protest. Therefore, this morning, working closely with the GW administration and police, MPD moved to disperse the demonstrators from the GW campus and surrounding streets. Now let's get a national perspective as protesters across the country are calling for a ceasefire.
Yeah, President Biden addressed the issue of anti-Semitism. News 4's Bree Jackson continues our team coverage from Capitol Hill. Good morning, Bree.
Good morning, Tony Millette. So as we've seen all this morning at GW's campus, more schools and cities are cracking down on the nationwide protests, citing safety concerns as well as concerns about a rise in anti-Semitism. And during a Holocaust remembrance ceremony Tuesday, President Biden connected the horrors of the Holocaust to Hamas's attack on Israel. The president denounced the anti-Semitic incidents that we've been seeing since Hamas attacked Israel on October 7th. Republicans, they criticized the president for not speaking out sooner. He's also facing pressure from some Democrats who are urging him to stop sending weapons to Israel. The Israeli military seized control of the Gaza side of the Rafah border crossing with Egypt as part of what officials call a very limited ground operation. Now, ceasefire talks continue today as Israel and Hamas try to bridge the gaps between their proposals. The U.S. is pushing for more aid to Gaza and for those held hostage by Hamas to come home. CIA Director William Burns will be in Israel today for those latest rounds of negotiations. Hamas officials have said there will be no deal if Israel continues aggression in Gaza. Back to you.
All right, Bree Jackson on Capitol Hill. Thank you, Bree.
All right, let's get another look at our forecast. A hot, humid, summer-like, Jessica.
Oh, definitely. So as people are waking up, maybe getting dressed this morning, get your summer-like outfits together because we're heating up in a big way as we head into the afternoon hours. Now, I've been tracking the potential for a few showers. We've had some activity around the Baltimore area, but then my eyes have been kind of fixed on this batch of rain that has been moving through West Virginia. Why? Well, it had some lightning with it, but as I've been watching it, it's been decreasing in coverage. So as it starts to move toward our area, I don't expect much. What I expect is maybe an isolated shower, a little bit of drizzle within the next few hours. But as we move toward mid and late morning, really getting rid of the activity, fading even the cloud cover, seeing more sunshine this afternoon and warm, getting into the upper 80s, pushing near 90 today. So warm weather fans rejoice. Not only are we seeing temperatures near 90 degrees, we'll call it 89 for the high, but more sunshine during the second half of the day. Could be a good time for you to go ahead and get outside before Thursday's system moves into the area, giving us the potential for showers and storms that could be very strong to possibly severe. I don't think everybody will see storms, but where those strong cells start to set up, we can have damaging winds, hail is possible, and isolated flooding is possible. So going throughout the day tomorrow, we can see those showers start early tomorrow. So here is 7:30, maybe a little bit of a break during the afternoon. And at this point, you may think, oh, well, we're seeing some sunshine. That could actually be some fuel, increasing our instability for any activity that comes later into the evening and nighttime hours. So we'll be watching that potential after that system moves through. Then we get much cooler, getting into the 60s, near 70 degrees this weekend. I do think we'll have maybe an isolated shower or two, but mostly dry conditions with sunshine this weekend, but much cooler for Mother's Day weekend. Kind of surprising that we're near 90, then we drop into near 70, but we warm up next week with a little rain chance as we move toward the middle of next week. Melissa?
All right, thank you, Jessica. First World Traffic Alert here this morning. Again, we're still talking about the situation with police clearing the pro-Palestinian encampment at GW. Avoid the area between I Street, H Street, 19th, F, 21st. All of this here I circled for you. You can see section of Pennsylvania still shut down, section of 20th as well. So just avoid the area if you possibly can. Beltway looking okay. Earlier problem near River Road is gone. Rockville westbound Norbeck between Georgia and Muncaster Mill. That crash is hanging around. Alexandria northbound GW after Marina Drive. A crash there. In Virginia again. Springfield northbound 95 at Fairfax County Parkway. An accident. Eastbound 66 and northbound 95 both about 15 minutes slow. 270 Beltway looking okay.
All right, Melissa, thank you very much. 6:51, our team coverage of what's been happening at George Washington University this morning continues with News 4's Juliana Valencia.
Yeah, she's now arrived in Southwest D.C. away from the GW campus. She's live at a D.C. police facility where those protesters who've been arrested are being jailed. Juliana, what can you see and tell us?
Yeah, we've moved over by the D.C. Police Training Academy. I'm here in a parking lot not far from there. Some students who are here as well. They're here for jail support is what they're calling it, just to be at the ready when those students and demonstrators that were arrested are released. They said they tried to get closer to the exact building that the students were taken to, but it's a gated area. So when they arrived, they were turned away. So this is kind of the meeting point. It's a bigger parking lot. We know more than 20 people were arrested. D.C. police hasn't given us an exact number, but from student organizers, we know that number is around 30. According to D.C. police, some of those arrests included assault on an officer or unlawful entry. But again, that area where we were earlier, where students were receiving medical aid after they were pepper sprayed, that area is pretty much clear. And so that's where a lot of the students went either home to take care of themselves or over here to, again, what they're saying is offering jail support. So as those students or community members who were arrested are released, they'll be right here. But that's really the situation. We also couldn't get closer because that is the gated area, working to learn more. But again, we've seen it all morning, a very busy morning, very active now, kind of being calm and kind of looking ahead to what's going to happen for the rest of the day here.
All right, Juliana, we will see how long it takes to process those students. Thank you very much.
Very interesting developments since the 4 a.m. hour, or 3 a.m. when it started, but when we came on the air. All right, let's go back to Joseph Omo live on the GW campus, or along the campus there, with the latest developments. Joseph.
Sounds like
we are on H Street once again, and we are watching as crews bring those barricade fences, or the bike racks, if you will. Not sure exactly, why they're doing that, because we've been reporting all morning that the protesters are no longer here at University Yard. They've been cleared out as of around 3:30 this morning. I suppose maybe they're doing it just to kind of keep a perimeter around the area where the tents still exists. And Indira, zoom out a little bit and just show H Street. For those of you who've been following our reporting over the course of this week, you know that this street that you're looking at was filled with tents. It is no longer the case. H Street is all cleared up. What remains are the tents on the university property itself, and we're told that that is going to be up to the university of how they clean all that up. Let's stay on this shot for a second, and now let's switch over to what this exact same area looked like earlier this morning. And wow, what a contrast, right? You're looking at video now showing the moment that protesters were cleared out of the park, and then shortly after that clash that I believe Juliana was referring to with police using pepper spray. DC police have confirmed it was pepper spray to kind of push back a crowd and create more of a perimeter around the university. All in all, we have dozens of arrests. That's how I'm saying it, because we don't have an exact number, but we understand it to be at least more than 20 people who were arrested. A lot of people who were here when this happened. The protesters who were here when police started moving in said that they got multiple warnings before ultimately those who still did not leave were handcuffed and taken away. Much calmer out here than what it was in that video that we just showed you a second ago, as the cleanup continues. Now that encampment that we've been reporting on for 2 weeks is no longer an encampment. Some of the tents are still there, but there are no protesters on the campus of GW anymore. Back to you guys.
Quite a change after 2 weeks. Thank you so much, Joseph Omo, live for us this morning.